Holy fuck. After radio silence for months, Brandon and the boys finally dropped it. The release date trailer. Nobody expected this, and nobody prepared for this, including me. This was a gigamungus level reveal, and I could not be happier. For some background, Boneworks, the last game developed by Stress Level Zero, is objectively the best VR game ever made, and one of my favorite pieces of media, so Bonelab is worth being excited for. The last Bonelab video I did covered my predictions and wishes, therefore the main objective of this little video is to discuss a few new features, set some expectations, and stir some hype. Let's just freaking get into it, guys. Jesus. Obviously, the most important new info is the body swap system, and it looks cool. However, I am skeptical. This feature is very ambitious and very well thought out with the new body mapping system, but in terms of the core gameplay, it could create some problems. In my opinion, Boneworks shine the brightest when you imagine you were in Ford's body and tackled situations as you would in real life. For example, to open this gate, you need to press a button much further into the level. But if you really think about it, you realize you could just stack some boxes and hop over the fence like you would in real life. Having a body swap system messes with this by constantly moving the goalpost, and situations like this can't account for when you're an 8-foot tall robot guy. But I am positive that if Bonelab is designed around this feature and not despite it, it can break away from Boneworks in a big way and really be special. Another addition were the new scene enemy types. Boneworks had 4 and some changes worth of enemies, and 2 of them existed as violence mannequins. Seeing new models and more importantly another guy that can do ranged attacks is huge. The most interesting enemy by far in Boneworks is the Omni Turret, and that's because of his ranged attack. I think expanding beyond just melee enemies is really going to help Bonelab's combat loop. We also get a better look at vehicles in the Node video, which was great to see. This I've never really doubted, and they still look great. One thing Bonelab really needs to not fuck up is the story. Boneworks had a great lore, but a poor story, or at least a poorly told one. I understand VR is a medium where traditional cutscenes kinda don't work, but this provides the ultimate opportunity for environmental storytelling. Half-Life Alyx does a great job of this, not just through dialogue, but also the city itself, with its empty playgrounds, militaristic plazas, and alien growths. Boneworks attempted this with its setting in graffiti, and it worked to an extent, creating a really interesting world and having great world building. Now all they need to do is deliver a more direct narrative with that, and you get a banger-ass story. Finally, the soundtrack. Michael and the lads absolutely blew me away in Boneworks, and I keep coming back to it after all these years just because of how good the soundtrack is, but I hope and pray that they can do it again in Bonelab. I need to add all this new music to my Scare the Hose Spotify playlist, and it won't make itself. To round out this little video, this is just to wrap up my thoughts before the game's release. Bonelab better be good. Boneworks has put my expectations above and beyond the fucking solar system. So if this game comes out and it stinks or it's unfinished, I'm gonna be very just a little bit upset. Expect a full-ass review of it as soon as humanly possible, as well as maybe some Twitch streams of my playthroughs if my PC can handle that much. Prepare your wieners for Bonelab, and stay tuned, dipshits.